There we go. All right. Infraction, yeah. All right, guys. We'll get started here. Um, so if you guys can find a seat, we're recording this right now, and this is going to be displayed across all offices. It's meant as a training guide. And then each territory manager is going to kind of put this post out. And the idea that Paul had kind of put forth is, all right, what can we teach? What's separate, in territories, but still at its core could be applicable, right? So people in St. Louis and people in Tennessee, anywhere, this is going to be stuff that you can use, very actionable things. That's going to allow you to see an increase in production, maybe a better mentality. I'll go over all these themes in the coming weeks. But today there are three things that I want to talk about, and all with the intention of being able to get through the script and to be able to drive more leads for you guys. All right. Little money's good. More must be better. All right. Same thing with leads. You got two leads. That's a fine day. Nothing crazy, right? And threes, that's pretty nice. It's a little tastier. That feels good. And four, you're like, oh, what's happening? Oh, this is exciting. And then five, you're like, it's all coming together. This is great. And then six and seven and eight. Where's Jaden? Jaden with 11 leads, right? That was last week. Yeah, incredible, dude, right? When those happen and that feeling of a snowball, right? Where it's just that, oh, one after another after another. Christian, just 2 days ago, three in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's fantastic, right? So as a result, guys, it's how do we get there? How do we win more? And how are we able to drive more leads? And it kind of breaks down into three parts that I want to go over with you guys. Very first thing is driving agreement. Okay. It's agreeing with what somebody's saying. And it's regardless almost of what they're saying. Having agreement is going to help bring people's defenses a lot lower, right? You're able to say, hey, look, that's okay. Someone says that they can't afford something. That's okay. That's not a problem at all, right? You're going to completely disarm them, right? It's empathetic. You're listening to them. You're agreeing, hey, that's not a problem. That's okay, right? So driving agreement, number one. Number two, moving through the script. All right. The word that I'm not a fan of, just being really candid with you guys, is rebuttal, because it can be very oppositional if that's how you're viewing it. It's here's the homeowner's agenda, right? Here's my agenda, and I'm just rebuttal, rebuttal, rebuttal until I get through the script. That's not how the script is designed. Really, a better, what I like to think of as a phrase, is a bridge statement. Okay. So what you do, here's the homeowner's objection. A bridge statement just addresses the objection and then it moves them through the script. It gets you to the next section, right? The script is broken out into a few different parts. There's the pay and building section, right? The introduction. We have the value of the visit and we have the goal. By consequence of just getting through the script, you are going to set more leads. It's that simple, right? So being able to move through the script, bridge into the next section is going to get you more leads by being able to make your suggestion and say, hey, the whole goal of the visit, answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down to the penny. It's good for a full year. Okay. Number three, and these are all of equal importance, but number three is where I see a lot of new people kind of getting hung up. You have to hard close. You have to. And part of that comes with confidence. Part of that comes with time and an understanding of what the script's really communicating. But you have to, at the end of the goal, you will never, ever, ever convince somebody at the goal. You'll never hear this. You talked me into it, son. Great job. Yep, that sounds super helpful all of a sudden. I love everything that you're saying. You send somebody out here tomorrow. It'll never happen. You have to take them by the hand and walk them through the script. And what that sounds like is a hard close after the goal. Hey, the whole goal of the visit is just to answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down to the penny and good for an entire year. Now, look, I already have your last name is Jones. What's your first? There's no pause whatsoever. See, a lot of people hung up in the goal. Hey, go visit, answer questions, go over options, leave you quotes down to the penny, good for a full year. And nothing. Homeowner's like, yeah, I'm not interested. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hey, you have a beautiful day. They have to be taken by the hand. You have to move them through the script. So make sure you're asking that first name. You're going to set more leads naturally. All right. So let's break this out a little bit. Let me actually grab this whiteboard. I like drawing. Let's start with the first. Just creating agreement. Smack the TV. See what Zoom user can see. Put this down a little bit. There we go. All right, fantastic. What do I have in my shot here? All right, I've got, let's do this half. Okay, so number one, again, agreement. Okay. Number two, drive, script. All right. Number three, hard, close. All right, perfect. So to begin with agreement, no matter what somebody is telling you, it's agreement with the opposition, whatever their objection is. It's understanding, it's leading with empathy before you drive through the script. So when somebody tells you that they're not interested, when somebody tells you that they can't afford it, hey, I'm really busy right now. Can you give me a card? Things like that. These are all the objections that we hear every single day. How are we getting through them is by agreeing and then again, driving through script. The only rebuttals that I use personally, and then again, when you grow within the company, use the rebuttals that are taught. They're beautiful. Keep them in your back pocket. Some are very specific to certain contexts that you can use. Somebody telling you, hey, I'm not going to be doing this project for at least, a year. There's a beautiful rebuttal at the third page, the ones that aren't necessary for you to learn, but good to just kind of have in your back pocket. There's another Better Business Bureau rebuttal. Have them all memorized and good to go. The only rebuttals that I personally use, I really only use two, right? Rebuttal number one, perfect. That's exactly why I'm here. Very simple. Perfect. That's exactly why I'm here. Hey, man, I'm really not interested right now. Perfect, sir. That's exactly why I'm here. The whole goal of someone even stopping out for you isn't for you to move forward with anything. It's to answer your questions, go over your options, leave you quotes down to the penny and good for a full year. Look, I already have your last name is Jones. What's your first? All right. Perfect. That's exactly why I'm here. That's number one. Number two, now that you said that, here's what we'll do instead. All right. Now, the psychology here is that we're going to do a little pivot here. Hey, you've told me X, Y, and Z information. And now, as a consequence of that, I'm listening and I'm going to adapt what I'm doing to better suit your needs. And for us, though, we continue with the script. So somebody tells you, hey, man, like I really can't afford it. I just got this house, right? I'm strapped for cash. I can't afford to do any projects right now. Oh, okay, sir. I understand. Tell you what, here's what we'll do instead. We'll make the whole goal of someone stopping out for you just to answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down with the penny. It's good for a full year. I already have your last name is Jones. What's your first? Right. And as a homeowner, I feel listened to, right? I feel respected. I'm like, oh, this guy gets it. Oh, here's what he's going to do instead for me. That's fantastic. For us, we're just doing our job. We're just moving through the script. The agenda hasn't changed, but a homeowner is going to feel again respected. And at the end of the day, guys, what we're doing, offering a free inspection from the largest, most respected window and door company in the country, I can't think of a single reason why not to say yes to that. So move forward with that confidence, knowing that the company operates with integrity. Been doing this for 122 years. We're not going anywhere, right? We're not chucking a truck. Vances? All right, hold on. Oh, we got two people that are waiting in here. Let me get Van and Scott in here. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. All right, got you guys in there. And then how do I mute? Okay, there we go. All right, figured it out. All right, perfect. So where were we? Yes, doing the pivot. All right. And Renewal by Andersen again operates with integrity, not chucking a truck. We're not going to go out, ask for a deposit of half of your project and then leave town. We're not going to get maybe the whole project, the cost up front and then declare bankruptcy. Right? These are things that if you do this job long enough, you will hear time and time again. Just people getting ripped off, scammed, right, out of their money and nothing to show for it. So when you're out there and we're saying, hey, we're offering free inspections, have that confidence that the company is a good company. It's a huge company. We stand by our products. We have an incredible warranty, right? That should give you the confidence to be able to move through the script. All right. So again, agreement, driving script, and then hard close. The agreement portion, it could be anything. It could be the example that I use the most. So for people who have trained with me before, don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's a beautiful example of someone saying, you know what, that maybe sounds a little bit helpful, but I don't like your face. It's a stupid face, and I want it to get out of here. Like, you know what, sir? Absolutely. That's perfect. That's exactly why they sent me out here, actually. That way you know which face you don't like. The whole goal of the visit's for someone else with a completely different face. He's going to answer your questions and go over your options. He'll leave you a quote that's down the penny and good for a full year. But hey, if your last name is Jones, what's your first? Right? It doesn't matter what objection you get. That agreement will beautifully get you to the next section, but you have to drive script, right? And that's the whole with rebuttal. It's not my agenda against your agenda. It's not combative. It's understanding, it's listening, taking them by the hand, and then moving through the script. So at the very beginning, you have your pain building section, right? And then you have, may I make a suggestion? I mean, you can suggest something, man, but I'm really not interested right now. That's okay, sir. That's perfectly fine. That's exactly why they sent us out here. All I'd suggest for you is just one of the foremen to stop out, take a look at the windows, just see if we could do the work, find out what you might want, right? Agreement. I'm using that then to bridge to the next statement, which is the value of the visit, next part of the script. As soon as I get through that, does that sound helpful? I mean, maybe, man. I don't know though, dude. I really can't afford anything. Times are really rough right now. You're saying that's okay. So I appreciate you being candid with me. Appreciate you letting me know. Here's what we'll do instead then for you. I'll make the whole goal of the visit just to answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down to the penny, good for a full year. Now, again, the most important part of that though is the hard close. I see so many people at the end there where they don't have the confidence in the script and they're saying, I'm just waiting for this guy to say yes to me. The script allows for agreement. You've already expressed empathy. You're hearing them. You're moving through the script. It's tailored for everybody. It's a free inspection, right? So when you're going through there, have that confidence of asking for the name. I see so many people getting hung up there. People will oppose greatly awkward silences. And this happens when you're newer, and that's okay. All right, until you kind of get your legs under you, until muscle memory really kicks in, or you have the ability just to keep a conversation going. But we've all seen this happen when your brain's, oh, what's that next part of the script? Oh shoot, what part was I at? Is that value of the visit? And those precious few seconds where you're like, wait, did I ask if I could make a suggestion? At that point, homeowner's like, yeah, buddy, I'm okay. And thanks for stopping, but we're okay right now. You have a beautiful day. Door shut, right? It's that fluidity that's able to drive through the script. And when your brain shuts down and just continuing the conversation, allow your time to kind of recoup a little bit, right? Where was I at? Oh, value of the visit. Let me just talk about this tree out front. Let me talk about this garden gnome collection this guy's got going on, right? Anything, just keep the conversation going. You are going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And for us to shoot our shot, we have to get through the goal. We have to ask for the first name. Okay. So with that hard close, if this is you, this is going to be a game changer for you. Instead of that pause after the goal, right, where you're saying whole goal to visit, answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down to the penny, good for a full year, and you pause right there, those precious 2 seconds is when the homeowner is going to wrest control from you. He's going to take it, and he's going to shut you down, right? So we are never, ever waiting to convince somebody of what we're saying and for them to say, you've talked me into it. You're a really good salesman. Great job. All right, you send somebody out. Everything suddenly sounds super helpful, right? You're saying, I have your last name is Jones. What's your first? Eliminate that pause. I promise you're going to see more leads. If that's you, if you have that pause there, commit, full send, hard close. You're going to set more leads. All right. Does that make sense? Okay.
Hey Seth,
What's up, dude?
can you touch on for everyone, can you touch on agreement in the window problem section without having any buy-in? So initial not interested or initial no money. Because I think it's very important. People kind of get tied up in the thought process of just moving on to the value
Yeah.
or answering to that objection and moving straight on without any window problems.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. So, again, Chase is what he's looking for, if you guys didn't hear him, is at the beginning in the pain building section. And when you're new, this can happen. This happens to veterans too, that you get hung up in there, right? And you're not able to get through to even make your suggestion, right? I see that happen pretty frequently, and not having the buy-in from the homeowner. And I'll give you an example. There's a spot up north, and this was New Berlin. I want to say it was a little borough, old town, very old town. There's a lot of little kind of hole in the wall places nestled in between mountains, and there's like 20 generations that have been living there, so people just know everybody and a lot of history. So when I tell you that I'm seeing some 1800s, original wood windows with the chipping paint, and there's just a lot of water damage, and like these windows are cooked. They're terrible. I know that the ropes that we're suspending for part of your balance system to be able to operate, those are gone, dry rotted. I know that there's rot in the corners of the window. I know it's a single pane of glass. There's no energy efficiency, right? And I remember going up to this guy, he comes out and I'm addressing the window problems. I'm saying, hey, the reason I stopped by your home specifically is that I noticed that there's some chipping paint on some of these original wood windows. Seems like some water's getting in there, kind of swelling the wood, the paint's chipping up. He's like, no, no, they're okay. And did I say, oh, yeah, well, I guess energy efficiency. I didn't pivot. I just agreed with him. And then I showed him exactly what I was talking about. Now, he's a rare instance. People very rarely will deny the evidence of their eyes. Okay. Hey, sir, I stopped by your home specifically because you have a rainbow in that window. There shouldn't be that level of hazing and color. It should be a clear pane of glass. Hey, sir, I stopped by your home specifically because just those two windows at the second floor are starting to get that condensation, kind of that fogging in there. How long's that been going on? Being very pointed with pain, finding the biggest problem that people have at a property is going to have a very honest and open conversation. You're not going to have people say, I'm not interested. You're not going to have people shut you down right away. It's going to be a more get to the core of why they're saying no to you. So right then they're going to tell you, hey, I can't afford it. Right? They're going to tell you, hey, man, I'm just really, really busy right now. I own a business. I'm working 7 days a week. Right? And we have rebuttals, we have bridge statements for that, but that helps you get to the core a lot faster. Okay. Now, another thing that I do see people doing is panicking when that happens. To Chase's point, if somebody says, yeah, man, I'm okay. Yeah, these windows are fine. And then oh, well, it's okay. Well, it's just, your neighbors and like that guy had drafting and I don't, do you? They just kind of implode. They get really defensive, like, oh man, he's not interested. Oh, he's attacking me, right? And they kind of curl up and they get really defensive and they start asking yes or no questions, or they turn and walk away. Okay, have a great day. And off they go to the next one, hoping for a better interaction. It's not the case, guys. It's very much be pointed with pain, find the issue, bring them in front of the window, right? That's a great, great example. You're saying, hey, sir, the reason I stopped by your home specifically, I'm actually seeing some warping in just three, not all of them. All right. That's a sales pitch, right? If I stop by your home and I say, hey, you got warping in your windows, how long you own the home? Just be like, they're fine, dude. I've been here 5 years. I'm not interested. Windows, no, I'm fine. I'm good. But tailor each of your pitches to the person. Be direct. Hey, the reason I stopped by your home specifically, sir, it was just these three windows, actually bottom floor to the right beside your garage there. It looks like those are actually starting to warp. You've got a half-inch gap along the bottom where your sash should be flush. How long have you owned the home? Or how long ago did you replace these windows? That's a very pointed pain point. I'm telling you, hey, I see this thing. And then when you're pointed with that, you say, I see this hazing, I see the rot, I see rust on your front entry door. Where's the sun hitting it the most? Because I'm guessing that door used to be green, but now I don't, that's sun bleached to heck. How long's that been going on? That's a very pointed and honest conversation you're about to have with somebody. And so when you find an objection there early on, because you should get to the core of it a lot faster. Hey, I know these are really bad. I hear that 95% of the doors that I knock. I don't hear the no, my windows are good. I hear, yes, I know these need replaced because I cut through all the BS. I get straight to the point. Hey, I stopped by because I see this problem. How long's that been going on for you? And I have very open and honest conversations with people instead of panicking, instead of rolling up into a ball, right? Oh, I said no. Oh, I said he's not interested. Oh, I said he can't afford it. It's just agreement. right? So someone tells you, hey man, I'm really busy. I am super, super busy. Instead of rebuttaling in that section, our mission is still the same in the pain building section. We still have to build pain. I see a lot of people too that uh, when they agree, hey man, I know these windows are really bad. We have to replace them at some point. Just maybe not right now. And then people just immediately they get excited. It's like, oh, he admitted to it. Let me get to the value of the visit. No, no, stay there. That's where you live. That's where you build urgency, right? Don't just go straight to the value of the visit there. Someone just told you they know their windows are bad. Don't jump the gun. Stay there. Why do you say that, sir? They're bad? Like in what way? Well, and they have to defend their position now. You're about to get every pain point you could possibly imagine. Right. Well, they don't open and close anymore. The second floor is hot as heck. There's no energy efficiency. One in the back, like the seal blew, so it's got all the fogging in there. All this that he just gave me, because again, I'm staying in that pain section a little bit more. I want to get that out. So don't jump the gun, right? But also don't get defensive when somebody tells you, yeah, man, I really can't afford anything. Save your rebuttals. Save that. You don't need that. It's just agreement. Hey, man, I really can't afford a thing. I get it, man. I really do. And again, with these windows, it's not typically the highest priority for people. But when I see a window like this, typically when with the warping and the gapping in the material, you're losing a ton of energy through there. Are these all replaced at the same time? I'm going to stay in that pain section. I've already agreed with them. I said, yeah, I completely understand. That's okay. It's okay that you can't afford anything right now. I'm going to stay in that pain section until I have him say, yes, this is the problem that I have. This is what's going on in the home. I have a very open conversation with him. And then as soon as we have that, we have agreement. Yes, these are difficult to open close. Oh, yeah, these are really drafty. Oh, there's condensation here. Oh, my front door. Yeah, it sticks. I can't even get it locked anymore. Or been in the job long enough, you have the guillotine window where you pick it up, but it's warped so bad that it slams shut, doesn't stay up anymore, right? Or the top sash drops down a little bit and they have to kind of force it up and then push this one down just to get it locked in place. So lock's the only thing that's keeping that window together anymore, right? Finding the pain section, creating agreement, and then saying, hey, look, you mind if I at least make a suggestion to you, right? That's going to get your bridge statement to your value visit. Then, great, they're on the same page. You know that these need replaced. Right? I've heard this a couple times from some people. It's a matter of when, right? Not if, right? And then getting through the value of the visit. Does that sound helpful? And then at that section, you typically will see a lot of people respond with that core. It sounds helpful. You'll hear a lot of yes, but. And these should be very, very simple to get over. You've just created what we like to call a lead. There's A's, there's B's, and there's C's. A, high quality. They're like, yeah, we were just talking about you. We are just about to call you. Thank God you stopped by. How often do you get those? Maybe one in 100. Shannon had someone drive up to her literally, what, 2 days ago? It's like, hey, we need windows. He's like, okay.
My favorite one was knock on dude's door. House was built in 2011. Knock on dude's door. Was pitching on one of the original windows. Said that the kitchen window started getting that foggy haze.
Mhm.
He had no idea who to contact about it or anything, and his wife's been bitching at him to get the dad. I literally started with after I asked, can I make a suggestion? He's like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, to help get your wife off your back, what I could do.
There you go. There you go.
So
Wife off the back pitch. Yeah, you love it. So it's a great example. We have that. It does exist, but rarely. Another example is a lead. What's up, Chase?
Oh no, I was just gonna add, but you can finish talking. I'll wait.
No, go ahead, man.
All right. I was gonna say another big thing that you were talking about is you can also make it their idea if they open up. I love the way that you put it of don't jump the gun. I do see that a lot as well. Really extending the problems and not making it super bland or brief of, yeah, I'm dealing with a bunch of shit with the windows. Expand on it, and then whenever we get into may I make a suggestion, well, sir, since you said this, this, and this, and this, you do know you're going to need to replace your windows in the next couple of years. May I make a suggestion? It makes a very high qualified lead because now you're making it their idea, not our idea. We just happen to be there to service them. So I like the way that you put it.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic point. So your A's to speak to that, because these are, again, people that, hey, I was just going to call you. Hey, I know I have this problem. I know I need to do something. And very simple objections like, hey, I can't afford anything right now. Hey, you can send somebody out. We're probably not going to do anything. Right. And again, a very simple, that's okay. Right. The whole goal of somebody stopping out for you is just to answer your questions, go over your options, leave you a quote that's down to the penny and good for a full year. I have your last name is Jones. What's your first? All right. You have your A's. You're going to create a lot more A appointments if you structure your pitch that way. Right. Your B's are the people that are like, yeah, my windows, they're okay. Maybe a couple of them are difficult to open and close. Energy efficiency, it's fine. I got solar or geothermal or whatever they tell you. Right. Someone who's not super bought in that we have to spend a little bit more time with of, hey, what are you dealing with in the home? And then you have your C leads, which is like, I just live here, dude. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, their windows, whatever. We have them too, sure. Those are the people that you can point out pain all day long, and you'll have either they just yes you to death, right? Or they just fight you on everything, and you're like, bruh, like guys, there's this one's really bad. Like it's smiling at me, right? You could raise a goldfish in that condensation in between the panes, right? The really, really bad ones were like, nah, they're good. Yeah, they're fine. Contractor, whatever, right? You're still setting those. You're moving through, right? You cast a big net. That's fine. But those A's and those B's typically make up the majority. And how you can get more people to the A of, yes, you know what? I know that this is a problem in my home. It's something that I do want to do something about. I'm just not ready right now, or I just really can't afford a thing, or I'm super busy. You're able to get to an easier objection that you can overcome. And then again, get to that goal of the visit, and then hard close. Hard close all day, baby. That's going to be a game changer for a lot of you. I have your last name is Jones. What's your first? No pauses, full send. And you are going to be amazed in how many people are like, yeah, it's Tim. Like, all right, Tim. And we're here at this address. Yep. What's the phone number for you? 717. You're like, dude, you just told me no 6 different ways, up, down, left, right. And now I'm getting your information. And suddenly we're stopping out. It's the next day at 6:30 p.m. and it sells. You're like, dude, you said no to me in every possible way. You said, yeah, I'm not interested. Get out of here. And I created agreement. I drove through the script. I hard closed and we set a sales rep up for success and boom, now they're a customer, And so what I will tell you guys as well in being able to set these leads, because we're a little past 12 now, being able to narrow your pitch to something that's palatable. It's not, hey, everything in your house is on fire and terrible and you need to replace it all right now, right? Keep it small. That's okay. Individualize it. Hey, I stopped by your home specifically just for that one door on the side that looked like it had some paint chipping up, just for that top window that has condensation, just the one, right? And our sales rep going out to the home, always operating with integrity. And we do a project with them, and it could be as little as one window. It's rare that you have a renewal by Andersen that will stop out for as little as one window. I don't know if you knew that, but we're still one affiliate. Some, nope, minimum of 4, or I'm not sending anybody out. So think about how much more that frees you up to really individualize your pitch and say, hey, I stopped by because just those 2 windows upstairs. I'm not sure what's going on, but on that side of the home, they're really warping. It looks like all your argon's lost out of the panes. How long's that been going on? You can really tailor that pitch to them. And I promise you that once we have a renewal by Andersen customer, and they might just buy one window, that's okay. But they're replacing every single window and door in their home with us. It might take them 20 years, and that's okay. You take it at your own pace, dude. But once you have top shelf, once you have the best of the best, you don't go back. You don't go back to construction grade vinyl, right? So operate with integrity in that way. Operate with that confidence that we have a top of the line product. We're going to do the right thing for people always, right? So more leads as a consequence, get more interest. And that's how you do it. Those 3. Always find agreement, drive through script, and hard close people. You had a question?
I wanted to add something.
Yeah.
So back last year, Chase is doing some follow-up training with me.
Yeah.
I love that you use I stopped by your home specifically. Another thing I love using, I stopped by, I couldn't help but notice.
Sure.
Name so whatever it is.
Yeah. And then just that one little thing, evidence of your eyes, for sure. Yes.
personalizing these things to these people instead of this robot morphing and all of these other things, not only are you building more urgency, but it snowballs into a lot of other things too. You're having good fun conversations, you're setting leads, you're making money, things are demoing, it snowballs. Now we're having fun. Now we're out in the field, now the energy's great. You know what I mean? Nothing beats having a great conversation with a homeowner and being able to have somebody stop out and genuinely feeling the help that you're doing for that person. So it's so much more than that. It snowballs into so much more. And all it takes is that first step of just really listening and paying attention to what you're looking at in every single fucking door you go to. And I promise you, dude, it's gonna be a lot more fucking fun.
So when you're winning, nothing hurts.
Exactly.
All right. Chase, do you have anything else? Eli, John, anyone?
Nada.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your time. It is a beautiful day here in Central PA, so we're going to get after it. We're going to set a bunch of leads. You all do likewise. I love your faces. Let's go get them.
Go get them.